It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around we're talking about the Optimist Club. And Optimist Club in Newton, I guess, formed about 5 months ago, and they're looking to grow their membership, of course. And we're going to find out what the Optimist Club is all about with some of their members and a lady who's about to be the district governor of the Optimist Club in just a couple of moments. Hang on for that. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors who have been so generous in supporting this podcast, which seeks to talk to individuals and events going on in Newton and the Grinnell area, including Newton Clinic, who signed up for a whole nother year supporting the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. You know, at Newton Clinic, they say shorter days and colder weather can take a toll on mental health. If you've been feeling more tired, down, or unmotivated lately, you're not alone. It could be seasonal affective disorder, otherwise known as SAD. Now, their team at Newton Clinic can help you find ways to manage symptoms and feel like yourself again. Reach out today to start the conversation at newtonclinic.com. And don't forget to talk to one of their newest providers, Kinsey Heiser. They love to introduce you to her. She's taking new patients. Kinsey Heiser at the Newton Clinic. Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. At Ryan's Tire and Auto, they take pride in delivering more than just tires and vehicle maintenance. They provide an unwavering commitment to great service every time. As a locally owned and operated small business, they understand the importance of building lasting relationships with their valued customers. Their team of dedicated professionals is passionate about automobiles and is committed to going the extra mile for you. They're proud to serve their community with a level of care, expertise, and dedication that only a hometown business can offer at Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. Another fine sponsor, Advantage Credit Union.
If you've been fouled by your financial institution, then blow the whistle. This is Coach Miles from Advantage Credit Union with some one-on-one for a financial victory. At ACU, you're treated like you own the team because you actually do. Advantage Credit Union offers great deposit rates. You actually earn interest instead of paying a monthly fee at you know where.
Bank shot! Good!
If you live or work in Jasper County or 18 other central Iowa counties, you are eligible to join. Visit us in downtown Newton or online at acuiowa.org. It's a game winner at ACU.
Member NCUA.
It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this is about a fairly new service club that is open in Newton, and it's the Optimist Club. And it's because I met Jolene Jorgensen in Grinnell at the Grinnell School of Music, and we recently did a podcast about the Grinnell School of Music in our Grinnell-Poweshiek County feature. And Jolene is a teacher at Grinnell School of Music, and she said, hey, how about a plug for the Optimist Club in Newton? And Jolene, how long, can you tell us how long the Optimist Club in Newton has been around now? It's probably been about a year, hasn't it?
The Optimist Club in Newton was just formed about 5 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, 5 months ago. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So we welcome them with the other 55 clubs that are here in our district.
Okay, fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the history of the Optimist Club, Jolene.
The history of the Optimist Club, actually the first club was formed in 1916.
Oh.
However, Optimist International wasn't formed until 1919.
Oh, okay.
So that was the beginning of a wonderful new treasure.
Okay. And you're going to be, governor of the area for the Optimist Club?
I will be the governor as of October 1st for the Iowa district and will be over all 55 clubs.
Wow, that sounds like a big job. What are some of the responsibilities of the governor?
Governor will have responsibilities of the conference. They will also be out and about, pardon the pun, Jamie.
Yeah, sure.
Visiting different clubs. I'll have my lieutenant governors underneath me, and they will be my eyes and ears in their district, in their areas, to tell me how the things are going and to hopefully get new clubs started and to get more members into what we have.
All right. Let me ask you about this. You're talking about new clubs getting started, and I know the Newton Club has been going for about 5 months now. Mm-hmm. Did the Optimist Club, because I know that it was around back in the day because of the speech contests and that kind of thing, did the Optimist Club have a great organization going for a while and then it faded away and now it's making a comeback? Is that a little bit like what happened, Jolene?
That is correct. Newton had an Optimist Club quite some time ago. Unfortunately, when Maytag left, the Optimist Club kind of dwindled. And I was sorry to see that and hear that. However, it is back, and it'll be better than ever.
Okay, great. Well, pass the microphone over to the guy to the right of you, a well-known man around town in Newton. John Lee is with us. He's taken my picture, and I don't think I broke any of his cameras. It does a
Not
great
yet,
job.
Jamie. Not yet. Not yet.
His wife is in charge of trying to get Legacy Plaza filled, and I did a podcast with her. Gosh, not long after I got started with the Out and About with.
Yep. She told me about that.
Yes, with the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. And John, you've decided to join the Optimist Club in Newton.
Yeah. So I'm at a point in my career, and I've tried to be involved in a variety of different things, as you probably know, Jamie. I'm involved with the chamber and things like that, but I had never really been deeply involved in a service group. And I just, when this came about, this opportunity, I'd like to think I'm an optimistic person.
Sure.
It's kind of an attitude as
you
well as a club.
You wouldn't catch John Lee joining the Pessimist Club.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But I really like their focus on service, especially when, patriotism is something I'm going to talk about a little later, but also just the focus on children and schools and helping out with different drives along that, and I'll let other people who are more educated there talk more to that, but because I'm still quite new within the last 5 months, so I'm still learning.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go down around the room, and Mark Feilman is with us. Mark, you bring the microphone just a little bit closer to you there. Tell us why you decided to join the Optimist Club.
Hi, Jamie. Good to be here with you, and probably joined back in the mid-'90s when I was in Marshalltown and had good experience with the clubs there, strong clubs, and that's actually where we learned about the flag project that John is going to talk about. However, we recommended people go out and visit other clubs just to get experience and meet people. And I do remember twice coming down to the old Country Kitchen in Newton and the Optimist Club. And you're right, it was a strong club for a long time there. So, but I've been involved probably for a little over 30 years. And this past year, we had some contacts in Newton. And so we started connecting with people and told them about the Optimist Club. And you get some people like John on board and some other strong members. And so we kind of got it together, and we actually organized September 25th, I think it was.
Okay, so. Fantastic. You can pass the microphone over to Rich. Rich May is with us. And Rich, why did you decide to join the Optimist Club?
To be quite honest, I was mercenary. I was working on my own. I wanted to get to meet more people. Got involved with the club in Grinnell, and was one of the charter members. A couple years later, became president, started going to conferences, international as well as our district conferences, and I guess I drank the Kool-Aid and decided this is something I'm really going to invest myself into. Bringing out the best in kids, and every optimist usually gets an optimist moment. One of mine that is indelibly ingrained in my mind is our club decided to give gas cards to a family whose daughter was being treated for cancer. And these people all started bawling because they couldn't believe strangers would be this kind. Everybody was bawling before it was over.
Yeah.
But it really touched my heart that they were very, very grateful for that, and that we could be of some help.
Yeah, that's so very, very important, because these families that have kids that are going through treatments and they're in hospitals, and the parents have to pay the bills, the medical bills and things like that. I mean, their budgets are stretched to the limit. So when you can do something like that and support them with gas cards and help them out, and that's very vital. So that's just absolutely wonderful. Jolene, people, I hate to say it, but a lot of times when thinking about joining an organization of some kind, they're going to say to themselves deep inside, well, what's in it for me? Why should it be beneficial to me to join a club like the Optimist Club? So maybe you can answer that question.
What you put into it. For me, at the Optimist Club, I was much like John. I always felt that I was kind of an optimistic person. I don't try and dwell on the negative. But with that being said, it was a whole different level for me. I found out that what I was doing for others truly was bringing out the best in me. So I would say that's exactly what it is. It brings out the best in you in a place that you didn't even know that you had. And I would like to kind of piggyback just a little bit on what Lieutenant Governor Rich had mentioned. I was one that visited the University of Iowa quite often as a child in the hospital. And if it weren't for a club much like the Optimist Club to be able to help, I don't know what I would have done.
So you were, or your family were beneficiaries of support from organizations like the Optimist Club?
Truthfully, I'm not sure at that point if there would have been an Optimist Club available to do that. However, this is one reason why I joined. I wanted to give back because I was a child that was over at Iowa City, and I wanted to give back to someone who is in need for that reason.
I wanted to mention too, and I talked about this before we started recording, and I don't know who wants to field this question about the speech contest. Any one of you can raise your hand and talk extensively about that. But I'll be open and honest here. I belong to the Rotary Club in Newton, but Brett Doring got up, and I had plugged that I was going to do a podcast about the Optimist Club, and Brett Doring said that he was involved in the speech contest when he was I don't know whether it was junior high school or just starting high school, and former speech teacher Steve Mullen had grabbed him by the arm and said, "You should get involved in this." And he did get involved in it, and he was very happy he did. He didn't go all the way with it, but he gave his speech over and over to a bunch of different entities, and it was all because of the Optimist Club. And Mark, maybe you can talk about the speech contest, because I think the Optimist Club is famous for that.
Jamie, that's a great point. The most of the clubs, they have their local projects that they participate in, which we can talk about that. But also Optimist International provides the international programs. And the essay and the oratorical contest each spring, which we're getting ready to start with the junior high and the high schools, it's a great opportunity for the youth to get involved. For me personally, when I was growing up, I shied away from that. But there are students out there that are very good at writing and presenting. But it takes the instructor also to get involved. So for the Iowa district, we'll have our oratorical and our essay contest. There's scholarship money available for the winners. But kind of like you said, the biggest thing, it gives them an opportunity to present in front of people, whether they win or they lose. It's a great experience, and they do remember that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. What other programs do you get children involved in too? Because I know there are others, and I know there's a flag thing that you guys do too. Maybe you can talk about that.
Essay is another one of the items that the kids can get involved in. And that's usually a 400 to 600 word essay on a topic that is given to them in advance. And that rolled out in 1983. And so you can also win scholarship money for that as well.
All right.
This is interesting because one of the international programs for Optimists is our junior golf tournament, which we hold every year. And actually, the last 3 years, the district holds their district tournament. We've been down at Pella at Boz Landing. And this last summer, we're just thinking about the Newton Club. And I remember down there helping out, and I ran into a lady, Jane Johnson, and I talked to her. And she said, I said, "Where are you from?" She said, "Newton." And I said, "Oh, we're getting ready to build a club there." So we established a connection, and then I think she's the one that told me about this John Lee over here, and but it's been it's kind of the way it worked out. But the junior golf tournament is a big one, and as some of the other projects, most clubs participate in respect for law, and then get the firefighters involved too.
That's fantastic. Now, someone had alluded to a flag thing that you guys do. John, do you want to take that?
I can speak to that a little bit. So, and I'm just going to preface too by saying that the Optimists have a lot of their kind of trademark programs that are probably done nationwide. But I do also want to say, and I will speak to it just in a little bit too, that we also try and do some very local things that are direct needs locally. But this Avenue of Flags is really neat because, I visualize in my mind, the National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. with all the flags, kind of lining down the...
and let me jump in real quick because Jolene knows what I'm going to say. If you've ever been to the cemetery in Winterset on Memorial Day, they line the cemetery in Grinnell with flags all over the place. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
That's a really neat thing. So I know what you're talking about in Washington D.C., John.
Yeah,
so
so
go
that
ahead.
that kind of sticks in my mind, and I'd like to think we're all
You bet.
patriotic people here. So really, this is something we're trying to get off the ground here. I'm actually doing it near my studio downtown, trying to contact all my neighbors. But if you have somebody who contacts you or knocks on your door, please answer because we are trying to spread this through various parts of Newton. But on basically 5 holidays, Memorial Day, Flag Day, the 4th of July, Labor Day, and Veterans Day, if you join the Avenue of Flags Club, or it's a subscription basically. So for $40 a year, which is not very much, we put the flag out in your yard, and we again try and get a whole avenue or street so that you have that line of flags just showing your area, whether it's your business area or your neighborhood, that you are a good patriotic person. Then we make it easy for you because again we put the flags out, and then we also let's see, this is where I'm still learning some of the things. It's basically sunrise, we get them out, and I think they're in by sunset. So it's the Optimists take care of all of that. Mm-hmm. You as the subscriber do not have to store the flags, care for them in any way. That's all taken care of by us. So, I'm not great at math, but that's not very much money per holiday to have that flag out for you to show your patriotism. So that's kind of what that program is about, and I'm going to try and put something out on my Facebook page, and I think if there's any other ways we can kind of link and so people can see this,
Sure.
I think that would be fantastic. But again, I did also want to speak to, just at our last meeting, Kelly Sorensen from the school district spoke on the food pantry that the district does, and I know we are going to try and help them out and get involved there. So that's what really has attracted me to the organization, is we have some of these well-organized trademark things that we do that are fantastic, but we also help out at a very local, granular level.
I'm glad you brought up the food pantry because the food pantries at our school systems and with the Salvation Army really need to be filled because, for a while, some of those payments that went out were delayed.
Right.
And so those food pantries are trying to be caught up. Mark, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Well, John did a great job with the Avenue of Flags, and it's popular in a lot of the smaller towns. And, it probably in Iowa started in the Quad Cities, and so they'll put out over 2,000 flags each holiday. So it's a great fundraiser. The nice thing about it, once you get a customer, you pretty much have them for life unless they move.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Rich, I wanted to ask about the meetings, too. People will wonder, if maybe I should check out the Optimist Club. Well, what happens at these meetings anyway?
So far, it's discussing things like, what are we going to be doing next? What have we done? The speaker who's there, what a topic that they may be covering is always something new and different. A lot of the things, as far as talking about the commitments, most clubs do not have a high requirement for attendance. If you can attend, great. If you can't, show up at the projects, volunteer, because that's the important thing, getting those projects done. If you want to head up or chair a project, if you got an idea for a project, bring them to the table so we can talk about them.
So showing up at the meetings you'd like to have people at the meetings, but showing up at the projects is more important
I would think so, yes.
or equally important. Okay.
I mean, because you always need the volunteers. You always need the bodies to make things happen. You also need the people to help coordinate and chair them. And the club meetings are to try and get together, share about what new things you might try and do and who might be willing to take on the responsibility of leading.
Right. Ideas are always great, but you need people to really do the legwork.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about just the benefits, and absolutely, Rich is right. We all know people have busy schedules and so forth, but I've, for myself, now I'm an extrovert. I like to be around people. I'm an optimist. But having said that, even from a little more selfish perspective, if you are a small business person like I am, and people in other clubs, it's a great way to make connections, make new friends, but at the very same time, doing good for your community. So that, again, kind of was the big driver for me. But it's, unfortunately, service clubs have waxed and waned over the years. And so I'm really excited that we are kind of bringing this back and trying to get some momentum going behind it so we can stay really engaged with each other in the community.
How often do you meet, John?
We meet once a month. Right now we're meeting at First Interstate Bank right on First Avenue. They have some extra space that we're able to use, but we have a banquet coming up. I don't know if we were going to speak to that. I can jump to that if.
Sure. Yeah, we have our celebration charter banquet originally scheduled in December, but it was during one of our snow weekends.
Okay.
So we reschedule it for Saturday, February 7th, 1 o'clock. And
it's at the Hazelig Tap Room up in Legacy Plaza. And
Are you buying the beer, John?
he said he's bringing a veggie tray.
Yes, I'm bringing a little bit of food, but
food.
Okay. We are selling tickets, but I guess I would say, and maybe I'm overstepping my bounds here, but if you have an interest after listening to this podcast to become an optimist, stop up. It's Saturday, February 7th, as Mark said, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the brewery, and we would love to introduce you to some people and get that ball rolling.
Sure, you betcha. I need to ask about, because people are going to be curious about dues. Can anybody speak to that?
Sure. Right now, we're at $100 a year. Some people are paying quarterly, $25 a quarter.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah. And do you do meals at your monthly meetings, or if you want to bring a snack? I'm sure that's okay.
You can bring a snack, but we have a set up in the back side of the bank there and all.
Okay.
And I did want to bring up, during our meeting, it's probably similar to a lot of organizational meetings where you have a guest speaker and take care of a little bit of business, Pledge of Allegiance, things like that. But we typically always end with the Optimist Creed, and I gave you a copy of that right there.
Why don't you go ahead and read this,
All
the
right.
Optimist Creed, and I could read, but you're already a member, so maybe you can put more heart in it than I would.
This is a big deal. I mean, we're a lot like other service organizations, but optimistic here. So the Optimist Creed: promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there's something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others, and to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble.
I love it. That's fantastic. Okay. So if people are interested in joining, a lot of people know John Lee. He's right there on First Avenue, has a fairly new office. Would you call it an office?
Studio.
Photography shop. Jolene, maybe grab the microphone. How could other people, if they want to join or have more interest in the Optimist Club, how could they do that?
Well, they are more than welcome to give me a call if they have any questions about the Newton Club, or also I'm sure Lieutenant Governor Rich would be able to field some calls as well. But my number is 515-705-9027.
Okay. I don't want to leave anything out. Rich, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Well, two things. One, I'll give you my phone number, 641-990-6886. Again, my name's Rich May. But also, Newton has a Facebook page, Newton Optimist. Hopefully we can build out a little bit there, so we haven't got there yet. We've got to build a portion so that if you want more information, you can go there and get more in contact through there.
All right. Fantastic. Well, what else, Jolene?
I was just going to say, please join the Newton Club the second Wednesday at the bank at noon. That's where they meet.
All right, fantastic. Sounds like a great organization. So check out the Newton Optimist Club. I'm sure you'll have a good time and find it to be very beneficial. They have lots of fantastic projects going on, and I think you guys are a service organization on the rise. So check it out and talk to one of these fine folks. Get a hold of them and get involved, for heaven's sakes. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Other fine sponsors include Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, Westside Java Coffee Bar, and Made Right Sandwich Shop. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.